sunshine through my window. Now I'm just a goner. 1,000 miles away, I'm a California dreamer. Got me drinking on a plane in a Santa Monica t-shirt. Sitting here wearing my impulse Ray-Bans, a henna tattoo and a Sun City spray tan. I went home with a postcard and I left my heart on vacation. Rewind, replay in my mind. Pack some jeans somewhere tonight. Say I'm so Nashville, yeah you're right. But that kiss told me you liked it. 1,000 miles away, I'm a California dreamer. Got me drinking on a plane in a Santa Monica t-shirt. Sitting here wearing my impulse Ray-Bans, a henna tattoo and a Sun City spray tan. I went home with a postcard and I left my heart on vacation. Left my heart on vacation. You don't know my dream, but I bet you buy it. I don't know your favorite song, but I bet I like it. 1,000 miles away, I'm a California dreamer. Got me drinking on a plane in a Santa Monica t-shirt. Sitting here wearing my impulse Ray-Bans, a henna tattoo and a Sun City spray tan. I went home with a postcard and I left my heart on vacation. 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 I left my heart on vacation. I left my heart on
Hello and welcome, Parapost fam, to another episode of the Global Ghost Hunt Live podcast. I'm your host, Haleigh Overseth, and I'm here with my friend Carol V. How you doing? Spiritually Flossom on TikTok.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here and happy to join.
I'm so excited to have you here. Now, y'all, we're going to do some tarot with Carol. We'll get into that in just a second. Do want to remind everybody, Global Ghost Hunt Live is coming up October 17th to the 27th. You can still sign up. Go to globalghosthunt.com. Definitely check us out and be watching for all the awesome investigations that are going to happen. And we're going to show you a couple of them so that we can do some maybe tarot readings on the locations with Carol. I'm so excited.
I am too. Let's do this. Yay!
Let's do this. So I do want to ask for you to just give us a little bit about you for the audience that might not know you yet. So you started, now you've told me your story, but like tell the audience just a little bit how you got started doing tarot.
So I'll try to make the story short. I went to go see a tarot reader with a bunch of friends. She saw my friends, wouldn't see me. I went a second time to try to go see her with another friend. But they were coworkers. She saw the coworker, didn't see me. Third time I went to go see if maybe she would do a reading for me, my very first reading ever. And she just would not see me. And so that day I was just a little frustrated. So I went and got my first deck of cards and my first book and basically started teaching myself, and it just became, everything just fell into place and it became natural. So ever since then, I've just been doing it so many freaking years.
I love it though. Like it's like you get pushed into doing something by the universe because the universe is like, I'm gonna make this something that you can almost not have, so that you have to go be like, but excuse me, why you won't read for me? I want to know these things. So I think that's actually kind of funny. Like that's kind of the universe was like, I'm gonna make you so interested in this stuff by making it impossible for you to do it unless you go figure it out yourself.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what happened. So I've been doing it. 32 years, give or take, and I'm
I
doing it.
I love it. And you do also have done some paranormal investigating yourself also.
Yes, I actually go with a really good friend of mine. We've gone to several locations here in Texas, and it's been very intriguing as well.
So, and that's, have you ever, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but you said you've never done the like tarot while you've paranormal investigated for yourself, right?
No, I honestly have never thought about that, but I mean, everything is energy, so who knows what we can conjure up.
And who knows what you can read about a space or about
Absolutely.
something. Ooh, and
Hmm.
Abyss Paranormal is here in the house. Vicky, how you doing? I did okay. So if you are ready and want to give this a try, I do have. Let me just bring this up. We've got Abyss Paranormal is actually the first thumbnail with the photos that I had. So this is our little promo for Abyss Paranormal. They're gonna do the historic morgue Airbnb, Ozark, Missouri. So we just have like I just have these pictures kind of to give you like this is where it is and this is the area to kind of let you read the energy maybe just a little bit. And then I'll let you kind of just, shuffle your deck, do your process. Do you
Okay.
want me to keep the pictures up for you or
Yeah,
like
if you don't
think
mind,
of
that way I could kind of concentrate a little bit on the energies
yeah.
and see what we've got saying at the historic morgue. The
And
abyss, some stuff.
Vicky, if you have anything you want to, ask about or, extra thoughts that you want to add in because Vicky's here in the house in the comments.
So I got strength for this area, and I would probably say that maybe people who probably have lived here, they were very in their own power. They were probably also a do as I say attitude, a can do attitude. It was also probably their way or no way from the energies that I'm gathering there. I don't really get any insanely crazy energy flowing. Um, but I do see that kids and children were living there, of course, in the environment. They would help family and so forth as well.
What
Very
was that card that you just pulled?
the Page of Wands. The Page of
Oh,
Wands.
okay. And
Yeah,
that one's the kids. Okay.
yeah, just kids. They would do what they were told. That nothing. That I see that was really extensive there. I do know it's a morgue, so I don't know if maybe the kids may have helped in the area of helping with their parents or family doing that, but
That's interesting. That'll be interesting maybe for them to try to kind of check out when they're doing
yeah,
their investigation. Maybe they can try to connect to some of the energies of like maybe the kids that may have been there or try to find out, did you ever have to help,
mhm.
with because that's something that was pretty common in, a smaller sort of family owned by, it's a business, it is a morgue, it's a business, it's a service, but that was something that was not unusual, right? That the kids would help with the family business and you might learn family business is a morgue. You might see some stuff at a young age that most other people don't see.
No, and I also got the star, so I'm pretty sure that most of the work they did was probably at night, from what I'm gathering from the star. Like people would come and visit in the day to, let them know about their loved ones deceased and how they wanted to set up the arrangements and so forth. And so I think a lot of their work was done at night.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, that makes sense, though. You meet with people and clients and do planning during the day, and then you would do your preparing of the bodies and things at night. So that's,
Yes.
I mean, if you feel it was 2 different churches also over the years. Okay, interesting. So it's also been a church.
Interesting. That's why I'm like not getting too much ugly vibes. I'm getting different vibes, but nothing that's insanely like, oh my gosh.
Nothing dark, nothing terrible.
Right.
I love that. Well, I'll let you, let me know when you feel like you've kind of gotten whatever you can get out of it. I don't know how many card pulls you want to do on the space before we look at a different one or chit chat, but.
No, I think I'm ready. I did a 3-card spread on this one just to kind of get a feel for it. This is my first time doing something like this, so I'm pretty excited. But
I love this because that's I hope that's something. I figure that's why you're getting children. Oh, from church.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. I love that. I would love it though if you would. I mean, Vicky, when you guys are doing your investigation, if you would ask if there were kids that ever, were with the family that ran the morgue or did anything around with that, like I would just be fascinated to know. So cool. Okay, I now go switch to another one. Okay. We're going to have Caught in the Veil. They're going to be, oopsie, I just got this. Oh, look, I can zoom. Good to know. The Christie House Museum in Long Prairie, Minnesota. Let me just zoom in since I can. Give you a little bit. Oh, a tiny bit of zoom. Brian John is in the back, probably like, what is she doing? I just want to get the picture just a teeny bigger, Brian John. That's it. There we go.
So I got the 5 of coins. Even though the house is gorgeous and it looks, I just felt there was a lot of financial hardship there. They did what they provided how they could there, but I think it was hard to sustain back in the older times. So or somebody who may have lived in the house maybe fell on some financial hardship back in the day is what I'm gathering. But I know that I'm sensing that maybe the flow of money just wasn't coming through as they anticipated.
That's it. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if I wonder if the location maybe became a museum partly because it was sort of saved maybe by a historical society. Like, I wonder what the story is then on that location, because sometimes that happens with locations where that is the reason that they end up a historical location or, end up more of something that is more of a tourist attraction in whatever vein is that, whoever owned it couldn't take care of it anymore, and it kind of becomes either public property or they sell it to someone who uses it as a tourist attraction.
Yes, that's true.
So that's interesting.
The other one I got, Haleigh, was the 9 of Wands. And so I know the people who may have lived there didn't have enough to sustain themselves financially, but they were kind of content with what they could provide and what they could do. Like, they didn't live above their means, but they were also just content with what they had. I mean, the way I see it, they were okay with, we're still alive, and so each day we're just taking each day as it comes.
So not because sometimes when you get that kind of money strain energy in a location, it can cause a lot of negative energy.
Yes.
It can cause a lot of strain, and if that energy is kind of residual there.
Also farming. I'm hearing there's a lot of farming that was going on too, and they were planning, and they were just trying to do what they could do.
That's it. Like, well, I mean, yeah, Long Prairie, Minnesota is I would say farming community, at least, you know, when this house would have been built, and certainly probably a part of what the house was built for. Did you have a third card?
Yeah, I think like the cotton era is what I'm grasping, and then justice is the last one. So I think with justice, I feel like they probably ended up finding a balance. Like they, I don't believe that I would like to. I don't know. I'm not for sure about the house, but maybe if there was some legal something that was not going on there, or if the house became like something over the years to where they did legal stuff, maybe that could possibly be it. But overall, I just think that they were content with how they were living. It wasn't a lot to money flowing through, but it was enough for them to sustain.
Okay. Interesting. I like that. I can't wait for all these investigations and for them to get more information and kind of, you know, tune in and get the story of the location.
Nice.
Oh, and here's another one from Caught in the Veil. So I'm gonna just hold on. We'll go. I just want to see if we can. Here we go. Ghoul Gang. We'll do one from Ghoul Gang. They're doing the Grays Ladies Mausoleum. Bursleden. Oh my, Brian John, I am not saying that right. Bursleden, UK. I bet, you know what? I'm sure the Ghoul Gang ladies would just. Burlesden. Thank you, Brian John.
Burlesden. I've been to this location actually in the UK.
Oh, you have been. Oh, that's
it's fantastic.
Oh, that's so fun.
If you want, I could show you a clip later of the evidence that I caught.
Oh, find that so we can pull that up.
Oh,
later.
I know. I already have it. I already know where it is.
Ooh,
so you want to show that later? You can.
Yeah, let's do that later after the commercial break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Oh, I'm excited.
I'm getting not too good of energy with this one. I don't like.
I mean, the UK is a little bit older with some of their vibey vibes in some ways, I think. So, like, I think that's probably valid. We can talk to Brian John. Ooh, what do we got?
We've got the sun here. So, with the mausoleum, I think, and like again, I'm picking up on the vibes of who may be in there, but just people who were in there were probably footloose, fancy free. They did their own thing. They could care less who had to say ugly stuff about them or good stuff about them. They just went about their days.
That's my kind of people. I like them already. I'm gonna go ahead and be me, party time, and I don't care what anybody else says or thinks about it. For that, I get it. I'm with it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This one's usually like a creative card. So I don't know if people may have been very creative or there's some creative people in there that did work. They would showcase their talents and stuff. And so people would buy from them because they like what they had to offer.
Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. I wonder if maybe even Brian John could tell us some about the location if he knows, but
there is actually a story that, and this kind of correlates to what you're saying because I think they do this, but there is a story of possible gypsies being buried there. Or a gypsy being buried there. There is in the last global ghost hunt, the Ghoul Gang was there, or the one before, and they actually found out some more evidence on this place during their live. There's a possible chance that, well, the story is the reason the mausoleum is there is because there was a very rich woman that wanted her and her husband to be kept in this mausoleum. Unfortunately, they didn't build it big enough. So the husband was unfortunately a very large man, and he didn't fit in the mausoleum. So he was actually buried in another graveyard. She died about 30 years later. So when she died, she got his, I guess before she died or after she died, The family brought his body over to this graveyard, and they buried them like kind of like head to head, not beside each other, head to head. But a story possibly came out that she was having an affair with a gypsy. So it's and that was found out during the global ghost hunt, during a live investigation. And Abyss was part of that, figuring out this possible story. It was pretty wild. But I do have that clip if you want to see it.
Yeah, Carol, can you pull?
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and Carol, if you want to show us your last card on the location too, while he's.
Okay.
And, oh, sorry, I'll pull mine down.
I'll go back
and you can
Okay.
pull that up, and so Brian can pull his up.
The last card I got was the Ace of Coins. So, like I said, because of their creativeness and stuff, specifically of gypsies, where they knew how to make the money in that time. I would like to possibly think they weren't stealing, but I also sense that they knew how to move money around to have it flowing for them. That's funny.
By whatever means necessary, right?
Absolutely, they did what they had to do, and
I feel that you got to do what you got to do sometimes to keep things
Absolutely.
rolling. Oh, he's got it. Yeah, go ahead and bring it up. I would like. I'm excited to see it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you buried here? Light it up if you are. K2 just went off.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And I heard a step behind, towards the back of the mausoleum.
So you're buried here. Light up the bulb. Did somebody just go ooh? I just heard a ooh.
I just heard a
Can
noise
you
in
light
my
up
apartment.
the
too.
thing at the top of the step?
Do you like us unraveling your story?
What was the man's name that was buried here again?
Lawrence Shaw's story. And she's Emmeline.
Lawrence was his first name?
Lawrence.
Yeah. If your name's Lawrence, light it up.
K2 went off.
If your name's Lawrence, light it up again.
Wow.
What was her name again, sorry?
Emmeline.
Emmeline?
Is it Emmeline? Emmeline.
Emily? Okay, can you stop it?
That's
Is there
pretty
an
good.
Emily here?
Emmeline.
Emmeline?
Yeah.
Is there an Emmeline here?
I love it.
Thank you.
Look at you say thank you and it stops too.
Is Emmeline buried here?
Look at it go.
Lawrence,
What?
are you buried here?
I love this.
Is it true that you were buried somewhere else and you came here to get buried here?
Look at that. I love it. So Carol, can I ask, like, when you're watching this and
Are you
kind of
two
tuning
together?
in, is there any other extra, like, do you have any, like, additional energy or anything you're kind of tuning into just watching this?
I am with the man Lawrence. I just feel like I think he thought his love was true, but with the affair, it hurt. It was in despair for a little bit for him, but he learned to let that go.
Ooh, I was gonna say Brian.
So
John.
this is very important. The next question, and it's cool. It's cool. Just get ready for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Carol's tapping in here.
Are you two together?
Oh.
Wow, that's really good.
Immediate
response.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
It's kind of romantic, isn't it?
That's
Everlasting love.
That was incredible.
That's so sweet.
And the K2's going off as well, then.
Oh, it's made me feel.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
I mean, and I think that was part of the story too, right, Brian? John?
So what I'm saying is, like, what I think is really cool about this, and I think a lot of paranormal investigators ask the same thing or curious about the same thing. When somebody dies, and then multiple years go by, and their spouse or significant other or boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it is, dies, do they end up coming together? That kind of answered that question right there.
Mhm.
They died 30 years apart, and they were still they ended up coming together, even though there was a possible. What's interesting is, because the question was asked during the Global Ghost Hunt while Ghoul Gang was there, did he know about the affair? And the ball lit up.
Yeah, he did.
So even though they're still together, he obviously, and you said it earlier, he obviously forgave her for what she did. But it's really unfortunate that they couldn't be buried or placed into the mausoleum. They're about 20 feet away from the mausoleum, buried together. So what's really interesting about all of that is, and people will say, well, the ball was lighting up. There were moments during that investigation where the ball didn't light up for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. So it was really,
But
it was really quite cool. But on the actual stair, and I actually got this on video, on the actual stair where all that stuff is, I actually captured a apparition going to the ball, which I have on video. You actually see what looks like footsteps going to the ball.
That's
and
amazing.
It's really, really super cool. And there was this one moment where we actually saw a ball of light come out from around the mausoleum, go around to the front, and then go actually into the mausoleum part. It was like it was a white ball, and we actually saw it with our own eyes. This place is absolutely incredible, and it's a fantastic location to go to if you want to capture something. And that woo I said at the beginning, I did capture it on camera. By the way, I captured it on the microphone camera.
I love that.
Yeah. So, anyways, I interrupting your show. Go ahead.
But you had to, because we had to check up on it. I just wanted to get one more before we stop and go to commercial break. For just, like, Carol, were you getting anything else from the video? Because you were saying that you were sensing that he knew about the affair too.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like it was an unbroken heart, and he was in despair, but he learned to forgive her, and so very, very understanding gentleman. So I almost wanted to cry. I was like, oh no, poor baby.
No, poor thing. That's just, I mean, it is. But it's like, it's such a, I love that they're together again. What a beautiful love story. And I do love the idea that, on another plane of existence after this human life, if you're still, guess what? I still like you. Let's still hang out.
Yeah.
Let's still play this game together.
Kind of reminds me of The Notebook.
I know. That's what I was thinking of too, right? The Notebook. I love it. Oh, R.I.P. James Garner. He's my favorite. I love it. But we are going to take a brief commercial break. And when we come back, we'll do some more readings of similar locations. I am loving this.
Me too. I'm so excited.
I love it. Let's take a quick break, y'all. Welcome back, y'all. We've got my friend Carol V here helping us out with some tarot readings on some locations for the global ghost hunt that we have coming up the 17th to the 27th. How is it October already? By the way,
I
How
know, time flies fast.
oh, how did that happen? It's just crazy. I tell you. All right, I'm going to pull up another one here for you. This one is one Brian John's going to be doing. We've got Bailey's Bridge and Hillside Church in Toronto, Ontario. So I'm going to try to zoom in on these pictures a little bit more
Okay.
so we can see them a bit better. But these are some these are two locations that Brian John's going to be doing. And we've got 1877 on that.
I know.
Hillside Church. I love that.
So for that one, first one I got is the Queen of Coins. So I'm thinking there's probably a woman that lived in the hillside, the 1877, the address there, I believe. Very wealthy, well-to-do lady. So that's the kind of the vibe I'm getting. I don't think she was mean, but she was very direct. So that's why, like,
firm.
Very firm.
Okay,
so,
not mean, but
yeah, very firm.
You
direct.
know, I was gonna say for the time period she may have lived in, probably, you know, it's not necessarily a woman's world at that time, right? So maybe having to be a bit firm to sort of hold her place or status a bit.
And people there respected her highly because of her financial means. So she was pretty well known in the area there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now this is the Hermit. Even though I feel that she was like very direct, very stern, people knew her, people knew what she was about. She was very financially secure. I think she was also very lonely woman. Like she had to show a facade of I'm have everything going on in my life, but deep down there was an emptiness there.
Oh.
And so she didn't. That's the side nobody ever truly saw of that. So unfortunately.
Hello, Chris. Welcome. That's well, I mean, again, I'm sure it was probably even tougher at that time to be an independent woman with your own means, right? That's probably something that made a lot of people kind of step back a bit, especially if she was kind of firm. So I can see that.
I'm not getting really any vibes from the bridge. I don't know if maybe that's the bridge that goes to the home or something. I'm not getting too much on there. I'm getting more focused on the home. And then here's the and I'm doing a reversal. I normally don't do reversals, but I'm getting there you go, the Four of Wands. So
I was gonna say,
yeah, I'm sorry, Four of Swords. So I'm just saying that even though she was lonely and stuff, she there was no peace there with where she was. You've got everything going for you, but there's loneliness there's no peace. She could not find peace within herself to be.
oh,
So I think she also maybe became a Mino, like this, that Mino lady lives there. So it really wasn't that. It's just there was something that lingered that she couldn't find peace within herself.
just something missing.
Yeah, something was missing out of her life.
Sometimes that's just something that I think we all deal with a little bit, right? What's the missing piece? Oh, Brian John, and now this is yours. So I was going to say you better come in here and tell us some stuff.
Okay, the church, I've been there a few times. A friend of mine that I investigated with has captured an actual full body apparition at this location. She didn't even realize she caught it. I actually saw it in her video, and because I think she was with somebody else, but that person was standing beside her. You could actually see a full apparition go around the church, and it was caught. It was really, really super cool. The bridge, I know you said you didn't really get anything to buy from the bridge. I'll tell you a little bit about the bridge. This is a very famous bridge in Canada for investigations. And basically what happened at this bridge, a 15-year-old girl was murdered under the bridge. Unfortunately, she was kidnapped on her birthday, and she was taken under this bridge, and unfortunately she was killed. Obviously that is very tragic, but what makes it even worse, the guy that killed her took her blood and wrote happy birthday on the bridge. And so apparently, and I've actually captured an apparition. I was standing at one side of the bridge, and with my FLIR, I captured an apparition standing at the corner of the bridge at the other end, which obviously was really cool. But the real sad thing about with all that, at a certain time at night, if you sing happy birthday, you will hear a stream, which is obviously really, really, really sad. So I wanted to tell the story on.
Well,
on
and
that,
I remember the story that you had told about that. And so this is something kind of interesting because, Carol, you and I kind of talked about this a bit with your tarot and the readings you get or the paranormal investigations you do, where you have said that you do the sort of protective, prayers over yourself or the cards before you start, and that sometimes you won't get information if it is going to be maybe too upsetting. Brian John. Well, thank you, Brian John, for coming up. But I mean, if you can maybe speak to that a little bit, that it's obviously a very ugly, traumatic story, right? And so sometimes when you're investigating and you're doing, Chris, that's right. Watch out, Brian John sneaks in now and then, peekaboo, right? Independent woman, yeah, Destiny's Child, I love it. But sometimes I know I remembered Brian John telling that story too, but I sometimes when you're investigating, when you're not getting any reaction or communication, sometimes it may be that it's a really super upsetting story, and your own guides and your own spirit team, right, that's with you, might be blocking you for your own protection.
Yeah, that's true. It's so sad. I'm just wondering, because I got like the loneliness and there's no peace there. I'm wondering, like I was more honed in on the church, and so I just was wondering if that's, I don't know if that.
What's up, Jonathan? That's interesting though. Maybe that girl came from a well-to-do sort of family or something, and maybe there was some of that in there, or I mean, maybe there is a kindred sort of spirit situation there, a woman of means who, she had something missing in her life, and then a young woman energy at the bridge that obviously you'd have a lack of peace if you exit that way.
Yeah, that's why I wonder if maybe there's because there's no, whoever was there's no peace, and how could you if that was the tragedy that happened?
Yeah, you wouldn't have. You're definitely going to be restless. Okay, this will be kind of fun. So I'll pick the Spook Road is what I'm gonna pick, but this one's gonna be my friend Casey and I. We've done some at Spook Road already, and we're gonna go do Hillside Cemetery this weekend. But so I'll zoom in on this one, and we'll hone in on the Spook Road because we've already been there, and I think it'll be. So I'll tell you a little bit about it once you look at it. So, but this is the bridge, and it's a road you can't drive through anymore. So there's not traffic on this road anymore, or cars.
Okay. One fell head on sec.
Ooh, what falls to the floor comes to your door. Do you go with that one?
Yeah.
Ooh, 10 of Wands. Okay.
10 of Wands. So I don't know if maybe whatever happened there, there were a bunch of people working in the area, or a lot of workers, or just somebody working hard, somebody trying to just.
This is kind of smack in the middle of some farmland. So yeah. So you're probably getting you're getting some salt of the earth people.
Yeah, they worked till that sun went down, and then they got up in the morning and turned around and did it right all over again.
Yep.
Yeah. This one is the 2 of coins. And then the way I see it too, maybe like there was kind of trying to find a balance there. I'm not for sure why it's called Spook Road. I do want to say maybe that something maybe I'm sure if you're investigating, something tragic happened there.
We were trying to get some story information like when we were investigating, and we were trying to get some stories from like local folks, right?
Right.
There are some stories of like of like people drowning under like in the river in that spot or in that area on like because they're like that's part of the river. The Big Sioux River is underneath that bridge that kind of snakes around this whole area. And so there are some stories of but I'll let you do the last one and I'll see what kind of other energies you get.
Oh.
Oh,
The
no.
3, I know. So a lot of hurt in the area, like just betrayal. There was no trust there. Just a lot of crying and mourning, unfortunately, in the area.
I'll have to get see now we'll have to go back there again and see if I can get more information.
And maybe there was a little boy that may have drowned there as well. I say little boy.
Okay, but so that's interesting. We were getting some like little boy energy when we were there. And so we were kind of what we were doing while we were there. I was trying to do more responses through nature, right? So like if you get certain like, you ask a question and then you would get a sudden like loud bird call response, like, okay, there's a kind of a yes, right? Like we were doing a little bit of like tuning into the elemental energies and like, hello to the nature here that experienced whatever happened. Can you talk to us and help us confirm what the story is? And I was getting like a little boy and little girl energy, like 2 kids playing.
Yeah.
But the little boy was there more strongly. And when I was kind of asking questions, I was getting like these like blueberries would come by in the water, like little blueberries. And I was like, are you doing that? Are you sending like, and then we would get another one. And I was like, okay, blue for the little boy. And these little berries that would like, we would ask a question and then I would find another one like that was just floating by me. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. But I mean, I don't know the full stories, but
I don't know.
It is,
may have fell from like
that's what I was gonna say. Like
that they used to have when you jump in the water. I don't know if maybe that may have been it, and he hit his head or something.
Well, so there are some big rocks that are under the bridge. Like when you try to climb down from the bridge to get to the water, like you have to climb on some big rocks to get to the water.
Okay. So that might be a possibility that I'm also getting there with that vibe.
Well, like, yeah, and maybe so I kind of wonder, like, was he there with a little girl playing? Something happened, and he's still there, but maybe that's why we didn't quite get the little girl energy as much. Like maybe something happened to him, and he's there, but the little girl that was with him at the time, she was okay, so she's not there.
Yeah, I don't sense the little girl. I sense the little boy there. And I think honestly, it may have happened when he hit himself. It happened so sudden. So I've heard if you die instantly, you're still you're still like thinking you're here on this plane, like not realizing what's really truly going on. And so
and if you're see, this is interesting too, because I was getting a very playful energy from this little boy. And so, I mean, that could be like, for him, he's still just playing. And maybe that is, I mean, that's a little bit interesting. Like maybe because my friend Casey, like both of us girls being there, maybe it was like, oh, there's my playmates, Oh,
yeah.
Like, there's that girl energy like that. And just kind of like, oh, okay, it's playtime. That's interesting. I'm now I'm gonna have to go back and ask new questions, but that is so I love that.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna pull up. Let's do one more here for us. So we're gonna pull this one up. We've got NY Paranormal is going to do the Gates House Museum in Warsaw, New York. Let me zoom. Hold on. New York Paranormal. Ooh, there we go. See what we. I don't think I know anything about this one. This location.
I sense there's a little girl there too, or a little girl there.
Gates House Museum.
Museum.
A little girl here. Ooh.
Yep.
There we go.
So I got the Queen of Wands for that one. Very stern, another stern woman. I don't think it might have been like she was the one that said, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this. And that's kind of the energy I'm getting there.
Okay, maybe like head of the house sort of thing.
Absolutely. She was on a routine. Ooh, she was on a routine. Like boom, boom. Everybody's doing this. You're doing this, go. You might have missed those cleaning those curtains. Go do.
Oh, you better go. So we've got like a taskmaster kind of. Like,
yes.
Okay. She's on top of everybody.
Yes.
Sounds like my mom.
We got the the burden with the money. So I don't know if maybe they may have let people come and stay there when they didn't have a lot of money to stay anywhere else, kind of like an inn. And she would help, but she was also like, well, you better not dirty this, or you better. And so that's kind of the that I'm getting here. Sure. I do want to say though, I'm sensing a little girl still in the surrounding area. I don't know why, but I keep getting a little girl. There's a little girl.
For that, yeah. I'm not sure about the location. I don't know. And like, I don't know if Brian John knows for sure or not for this particular location. But again, will be interesting to watch the investigation then and see if they get any little girl energy or responses.
Like where the windows on the top are, on where the windows that are open. That's where I'm sensing.
Oh, okay. On the left hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. What's your third card?
My third card is. It's basically, this is the job card. Like if some people are looking for work and stuff, so maybe people would come there, and ask the stern woman maybe for work, or if there was work that needed to be done, maybe the yard or something. And that's the vibe I get. She would help because there's things that she could not do, but she was very direct of how she wanted things to be done, and she liked to have things tidy and so forth with the energy I get there.
Interesting. I wonder if maybe if it was, if she was taking people in and helping, maybe she was doing sort of like people would work in exchange for the sort of room and board or something. Yeah, something like that. I love it. I'm so excited now for that, like to get more details, like ask those questions now at those locations and see if it's see how much more information you can get. I do love that. I have so enjoyed this, but I just want to just get some final thoughts from you on sort of using this kind of like as a different sort of technique. Because again, you've done paranormal investigations before, and you do tapping in and tuning in and the intuitive reading of the energies. What I guess what would you say is, because you're so connected to tarot, right? So what would you maybe suggest for people who might be kind of trying to figure out what sort of tools they could use additionally in ghost hunting, in the paranormal investigating, that might not be the traditional? Thank you, Chris. Oh, we're so happy you came in. Don't even worry about being late, yo. We're just glad you're here.
So with my investigation, I tallied into the VP meter reading, and I can give you a quick story. We were in Colorado and the Stanley Hotel.
Nice.
Where The Shining was the big. It's
Yep.
the real hotel. And as soon as we walked into the what do you call it? The
Like the lobby,
the lobby area, yeah,
the entrance area, or yeah.
Yeah, and so we were waiting. They were doing a Stephen King tour. Very awesome. I would highly recommend it. Estes, Colorado. But anyways, I put my EVP down just in the lobby just to sit down, see if we could I could get any reads. Immediately, that thing just shot up. We weren't even in nowhere. We were just in the lobby, and
I love it. Like, Chris is in Colorado, and I'm just like, Carol, we might have to go to Colorado and hit up the Stanley Hotel together. We might have to have you do some tarot readings there, and then we'll go hang out with Chris at the Abbey in Canyon City that he likes to go to, because that would be rad. Yeah, but tell me more about that. But just before we go here, the Stanley Hotel, because who doesn't love The Shining? If you are into this kind of thing, you gotta love The Shining.
Yes, yeah, and so I thought that was very intriguing. Like, I was like so happy I finally got some cool read, and I didn't have to do anything. It just immediately they're like, yep, we're here.
We're here. There's energy here, of course. That's why everyone comes here. Hi there.
And I know that hotel's been around for quite a long time, so I can only imagine how much energy's gone through the doors and stuff. So,
well, and it's a whole other conversation for another podcast, so we're gonna have to bring you back. But like the sort of liminal energy, right? The transient energy that you get in places like that, hotels or train stations or places like that where people weren't staying, right? People were moving in and out. Have you gotten that too, or that sense that those places do have a lot more activity, right? Like because of all the shifting or movement that would happen there?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, even just, I know sometimes when you're in museums and stuff, one divination that anybody can use is if you pick up a piece of clothing or a ring, like I had talked about on another, like you can start feeling the energy flow. And usually what first comes into your mind is kind of the energy vibe that you're getting of what that energy was held in the clothing. It's pretty interesting how.
Did you get to free roam at Stanley? Did they let you?
Yeah, yes. We did the tour, and then we got to free roam. It was so exciting. Yeah.
That is so super fun. Oh my God.
It's so gorgeous too. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
I would be touching everything and trying to get the energy. I would be touching everything. Like, oh, I love that. We're going to have you come back and have a whole other conversation about this stuff again. I can't wait. But do tell everybody where to find you, because you do tarot readings and other things on TikTok, and do your tarot, tarot pulls from TikTok.
Yes. So you can find me at Spiritually Flossom at TikTok, and also on Instagram. I do have a Facebook page, and most of the readings I just take it through donations. I know everybody's like, oh, you're not supposed to do that, but it's a gift, and I enjoy helping others. So
I love it, and I do love the tarot readings you do. We'll have to have you come back and do some tarot readings for me and Brian John on Through the Lens, and everybody jump back into the comments so you can have some tarot readings with Carol too, because I think it would be a fun party time. And check out her links are also in the description and in the comments, so check those out. Don't forget, y'all, to go to globalghosthunt.com and check us out. Be ready for all the investigations we have coming up. Check out our sponsors, healthempowersyou.net. You can get their smoothie recipes book on their website, and they've got the coffees and teas coming up soon. Don't forget to go check them out. You can support more content from the Parapost Network Central fam by supporting our sponsor, healthempowersyou.net. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in the comments. And whenever you decide to check us out in your time, space, pie slice. And Carol, thank you so much for joining us and doing some really awesome, fun tarot with us. It has been so much fun.
It was a pleasure. I loved it.
Thank you. Stay spooky, y'all. We appreciate you coming by.